Hey friends, Michael Warren here from Essential Guitar Lessons, and let's learn all about music theory for guitarists. This is part 5, so make sure you've watched part 1, 2, 3 and 4 before you tackle this one, and I'll put a link in the description for you. Don't forget, if you like this lesson, to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and check out my YouTube channel, Essential Guitar Lessons. Lots of songs and lessons for all levels and new lessons uploaded weekly, and I'll leave a link in the description for that as well. Now, if you're having any problems with this lesson, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. So this lesson will learn about the natural minor scale. I'll show you 4 different ways to find the notes to each scale. We'll look at relative major and minor scales, scale degrees and the names of the notes in both major and minor scales, and we'll put them on the guitar. Before you do this, you must know semitones and tones, or half steps and whole steps, sharps and flats, the chromatic scale, and understand how to make a major scale using its formula, the key signature to all major scales. And we covered all these topics in previous lessons. So if you need to, go back and watch those lessons, because if you don't, you will get lost in this lesson. Okay, so we have 3 different types of minor scales. We have the natural minor, the harmonic minor, and the melodic minor. Today we'll just be doing the natural minor scales. Now, same as the major scales, it's a diatonic scale, and we spoke about that in the last lesson. It's a 7-note scale with 5 tones and 2 semitones in 1 octave, and the semitones are separated by at least 2 or 3 tones. And we have a natural minor scale for each note of the chromatic scale, same as the major scales. Now, for the natural minor scales, we have the same 2 rules as the major scales. We can't repeat a letter, so if I've got A, I can't use A sharp or A flat. If I'm using A sharp, I can't have A or A flat, or if I'm using A flat, I can't use A or A sharp, and that goes for all the letters. And we can't skip a letter, so it's exactly the same as a major scale. I can't go from A to C, that way I've skipped over the B and I need some sort of B, whether it be a B or a B flat. So I can't skip any of the letters. So again, it's exactly the same as the major scale rules. And the first way you can make a natural minor scale is with a formula like we did with the major scales. This time the formula is tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone, or whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. And we'll work off the chromatic scale like we did for the major scales. This time we'll start on the A minor scale, because it's the only natural minor scale with no sharps and flats. So bring up the chromatic scale. Bring down the A and put your formula under the A. So tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. Then we have A, we just want to go tone from A, so we look at our chromatic scale, we have A to B. Then from B we want a semitone, so that's 1 step, so B to C. C we want a tone, and that's 2 steps, so C to D. D we want a tone, D to E. E we want a semitone, so that takes us E to F. F we want a tone, so that takes us to G, and then we have another tone, and that takes us back around to A there. So remember, our tones is 2 steps along the chromatic scale, and the semitone is 1 step. So that's our A natural minor scale. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, no sharps and flats. So to get to the next scale, we go up a perfect fifth from the scale we just did. So exactly the same as the major scales. Remember to include A as 1. So we have A, B, C, D, E. So our next minor scale will be E natural minor. We just add our formula, so tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone, and we go through off the chromatic scale again. So E, we have a tone. So we take 2 steps. It has to be F sharp, because I can't make it G flat, because that means I've skipped over the F. So it's got to be E to F sharp. Then we need a semitone, takes us to G. Tone from G takes us to A. Tone from A takes us to B. A semitone from B takes us to C. A tone from C takes us to D. And then we have a tone from D takes us back to the E again. So our E minor, the key signatures are F sharp, and the notes are E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. So you can see it's done exactly the same way as we did the major scales. We're just using a different formula this time to get the natural minor scales. So to get to the next one, again, we go up 5 from E. So we have E, F sharp, G, A, B. We put down the B, we put our formula, and then we go through it again. So we have B, we have a tone from B, has to be C sharp, can't be D flat, so I can't skip over the C. We have a semitone from C sharp, takes us to D. A tone from D takes us to E. A tone from E, we have to use F sharp. Again, I can't use G flat, so I can't skip over the F. Semitone from F sharp takes us to G. A tone from G takes us to A. A tone from A takes us back to B again. So the notes to our B natural minor scale are B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G and A. So our key signature is F sharp and C sharp. So let's do this a quicker way like we did with the major scales. Remember, you don't have to do this in order. You can start from any note, and if you follow the rules, you'll get the right notes. So the second way to make a natural minor scale, like we did with the major scales, go up 5 from B. Just write the alphabet after that, so 7 letters. So we have F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. Bring down the sharps from the previous scale. So we had the F sharp, bring that down, and we had the C sharp. And this time the new sharp will always be the second note when we do it this way. So each time we do this, we sharpen the second note of the scale. So F sharp minor will have F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D and E. So its key signature is F sharp, C sharp and G sharp. So let's do another one like that. That's nice and easy. We go up 5 from F sharp. So F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp. Start there, write the alphabet from C sharp. So C, D, E, F, G, A and B. Bring down the sharps from before. So we have F sharp. We have C sharp, which is already sharp for our first note, and we have G sharp, and again make the second note sharp, which makes it D sharp. So our C sharp natural minor is C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A and B, and the key signature is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp and D sharp. So remember, the key signature is just the sharps and the flats. So let's do another one like that, nice and easy. We go up 5 from C sharp, so C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp. Bring that down, write the alphabet after G sharp, so we have G sharp, A, B, C, D, E and F. We bring down our sharps from before, so F sharp, C sharp, G sharp and D sharp. And now we just sharpen the second note again, which makes it A sharp. So now our G sharp minor, the key signature is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp and A sharp. So let's do the next one. We'll go up 5, so G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp and D sharp. We bring down the D sharp, and this time we'll do it with the formula so you can see what's going to happen. We have tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. So we're going to start on D sharp and we want a tone. So from D sharp, we can't go to E because that's only a semitone there. We can't go to F either because that's a tone, but I've skipped over the E. So the same as the major scales, we have to make it E sharp. Again, there is no E sharp on the chromatic scale, but we do this for the key signature. Then we want a semitone from E sharp, takes us to F sharp. We want a tone from F sharp, takes us to G sharp. A tone from G sharp takes us to A sharp. Then we want a semitone from A sharp, so that takes us to B, and then a tone from B takes us to C sharp, and then another tone takes us back to the D sharp there. So again, you can do that without the formula. You can just do it the second way we did it by writing the alphabet and sharpening that E there. So D sharp minor, the key signature is F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp and E sharp. So let's do the next one. We go up 5 again, which takes us to A sharp. Write our alphabet, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Bring down our sharps from before. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp. We already have the A sharp and E sharp. And then again, we just sharpen the second letter, so it's B sharp. And that's the same as the E sharp. I can't go straight to C because I can't skip over the B. So our A sharp minor, all the notes are sharp. The key signatures F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, E sharp and B sharp. Now the same as the major scales, we can go again and we end up with double sharp. So I could go up 5 again A, B, C, D, E, sharp, bring that down. I could go through all my notes, put my alphabet there, and I'm going to end up with a double F sharp this time. So for our E sharp minor, the notes would be E sharp, F double sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp, C sharp, and D sharp. So I can keep going and adding a double sharp to there, but we only go to where we're sharpening all the notes. So that's all the minor scales using sharps. Now the same as the major scales, we have another set of natural minor scales using flats. But before we get to this, let's have a look at relative major and minor scales. We'll do this here because the third way to work out the natural minor scale, we need to understand this concept. And it is quite easy. So every major scale has a relative natural minor scale and vice versa. So all that means it has the same key signature. So the same sharps and flats as the major scale. So let's have a look at the minor scale we just did and their relative major scales. So if we have a look at our C major scale, which has no sharps or flats, so C, D, E, F, G, A, B, it has the same notes as our first minor scale we did, our A natural minor, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No sharps or flats, we're just starting from a different spot. So C major's relative minor is A minor. It has the same key signature, no sharps or flats, and A minor's relative major is C major and vice versa. So A minor's relative major is C major, C major's relative minor is A minor. So let's do another. If we look at the E major, we have E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp and D sharp. Its relative minor would be C sharp minor. It has the same key signature. So F sharp, C sharp, G sharp and D sharp. So C sharp minor, relative major is E major and vice versa there. Whatever key signature the major scale has, its relative minor has the same key signature, so same sharps and flats. So let's do the third way we can work out a natural minor scale. So let's bring up our first major scale using the flats, which would be F major. And its key signature is B flat, so it has a B flat in the scale. Now just start your minor scale from the 6th degree of the major scale. So that just means the 6th note of the major scale. And we'll have a look at scale degrees in a minute. And just place the exact notes from the major scale, starting from D, the 6th note of the major scale. So now we have the notes to the D minor scale. We have D, E, F, G, A, B flat, and then we have the C and back to the D there. So the D minor scale and its relative major, F major, and they both have the same key signature, B flat. Now this works for all the minor scales using sharps or flats. Just start from the 6th note of the major scale, write down the same notes with the same sharps or flats, and you'll get its relative minor. So let's do a few more. Okay, so if we do our B flat major, just go to the 6th degree or 6th note, takes us to G. Write down exactly the same letters as our B flat major. So we have G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat and F. So we have G minor is its relative minor to B flat major. Let's do the next one as well. We have E flat major. Go to the 6th note or 6th degree, takes us to C. Write down the same letters again. So we have C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat and B flat. So our C minor, its key signature is E flat, A flat and B flat. Exactly the same as our E flat major, same key signature. Our next one would be A flat major. We go to the 6th note, which takes us to F. So F minor would be F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D flat and E flat. So the key signature to our F natural minor is A flat, B flat, D flat and E flat there. And we can continue on through there, and I'll put them on the screen for you. And you can also do double flats. So that's pretty easy. We're just going to the 6th note of the major scale and writing down exactly the same notes, and that gives us its relative minor scale there. Now you can do this the other way as well if you want. Let's say you know the notes to the minor scale and you want to work out the relative major scale. Just start from the third note or the third degree of the minor scale and write down the same notes using the same sharps or flats, and you get its relative major scale. So if I had F sharp minor, so the key signatures F sharp, G sharp and C sharp, I just go to the third degree, or the third note takes me to A, write out the same notes, and its relative major would be A major with the key signature F sharp, C sharp and G sharp there. Now that we know all the natural minor scales and their relative major scales, let's learn the fourth way of working out a natural minor scale. Now I'm showing you all these different ways because musos use all of them, and we want to know what they're talking about with each different way. So this is called parallel majors and minors. Don't get that mixed up with relative majors and minors. It is different. So we're talking about parallel majors and minors. Now you may have heard musos saying that a natural minor has a flattened third, a flattened sixth and a flattened seventh. So what does that mean? So they're comparing the minor scale to its parallel major scale. So let's go through it. It sounds confusing, but it's actually pretty easy. Let's bring up the C major scale. And if I want to find its parallel minor, I just flatten the third, the sixth and the seventh note. So the parallel, what that means is it has the same starting note. So C major and C minor are parallel majors and minors, and I just flatten the third, the sixth and the seventh. So I'm flattening E flat, I have A flat and B flat. So the notes to the C minor scale are C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat and B flat. So you can see it's not its relative minor, that would be A minor, has the same key signature, no sharps or flats. Its parallel minor is C minor. And if we bring up our chart, we can see C minor has an E flat, an A flat and a B flat. So let's do a few more there as well. So let's look at A major. We have A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp and G sharp. So to make it a parallel minor, we want to start on the A. We want to flatten the third. So we have C sharp there. So we don't go back to B. Flatten means just lower it by a semitone. So the C sharp would now become C. So we have A, B, C, D, E. F sharp, that's the sixth note. So we want to flatten that, takes it back to F. So we're just going back one semitone from F sharp. And then we have the seventh note, the G sharp, we want to flatten that, so that makes it G. So A major's parallel minor would be A minor, and it'd have no sharps and flats in it. Its relative minor would be F sharp minor with the same sharps and flats. Its parallel minor would be A minor, no sharps and flats. We've flattened the third, we've flattened the sixth, and we've flattened the seventh. So we're comparing it to the major scale. Let's do another. So if I have B flat major, gives me B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G and A. Now I flatten the third, so that'd be D flat. I flatten the sixth, which would be G flat, and I flatten the seventh, which would be A flat. So our parallel minor to B flat major would be B flat, and we also leave in the same flats or sharps from the previous scale. So our parallel B flat minor would be B flat, D flat, E flat, G flat and A flat there. Now when you do it this way, the rules stay the same. You can't repeat a letter or you can't skip a letter. So let's have a look at the D flat major and its parallel minor. So that would be D flat minor. So flatten the third, which would be F flat. Then we flatten the sixth, but that already has a flat. We have B flat. So we have to make it a double flat because I can't use A because I've already used that letter. So we make it B double flat, which is the same note as A. So that's what we're talking about when we say the natural minor has a flattened third, a flattened sixth and a flattened seventh. We're comparing it to the parallel major. So the same starting notes, so C major and C minor. It's not the relative minor with C major, that'd be A minor. It's the parallel minor, which same starting note. So now you know 4 different ways to make a minor scale, and you can use all 4, they're all correct. So you can use your formula, tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. You can use a quick way writing the alphabet, bringing down the sharps or flats and adding the new sharp or flat. You can do it using the relative majors and starting from the 6th note and writing out the same notes using the sharps or flats, so you get the relative minor to each major scale. Or you can just flatten the 3rd, 6th and 7th of the major scale and you get its parallel minor scale. And at the end we'll put these minor scales on the guitar so you can play them as well. So the next thing we need to know is that each note of all the major scales and the natural minor scales have 2 different names or 2 different ways we can refer to the notes of the scales. And we want to remember both because this is used all the time in music theory, so make sure you write this down and try and remember both ways. So let's have a look at that. So the first way, using degrees, and this is really easy. Each note of either the major or the minor scale, we just count. So first note, second note, third note. So we just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But instead of just putting the number, we write degree after each number. So the first note would be the 1st degree, second note, 2nd degree, third note, 3rd degree, and so on there. And this is the same for both major and minor. So you can see on my E flat major scale, E flat would be the 1st degree, F would be the 2nd degree, G would be the 3rd degree, A flat would be the 4th degree, B flat would be the 5th degree, C would be the 6th degree, and D would be the 7th degree. So that's pretty easy, just put the number then write degree after it. So now I'm referring to the notes of the major or minor scale. I would say, so the 3rd degree of C major, and that would be E. So that's pretty easy there. So let's have a look at the second way. Now we want to remember all these names, so make sure you write them down. Let's start with the major scale. We call the 1st degree the tonic, the 2nd degree the supertonic, the 3rd degree the mediant, the 4th degree the subdominant, the 5th degree the dominant, the 6th degree the submediant, and the 7th degree either the leading tone or the leading note. Why they are called this is more about music history, so we won't be going into that there. You just want to remember the names to each note. Now these are the names for the major scale. So if I was to bring up my D major, the D would be the tonic, the E would be the supertonic, the F sharp would be the mediant, the G would be the subdominant, the A would be the dominant, the B would be the submediant, and the C sharp would be the leading tone or the leading note there. And that goes for all major scales. So let's do another. If I was to have F major, the F would be the 1st degree and the tonic, the G would be the 2nd degree and the supertonic, the A would be the 3rd degree and the mediant, the B flat would be the subdominant and the 4th degree, the C would be the 5th degree and the dominant, the D would be the 6th degree and that's the submediant, the E would be the 7th degree and that's the leading tone or leading note there. So let's have a look at the minor scales. This is easy, they're all the same except for the 7th note or the 7th degree. That's called the subtonic. All the other names stay the same. So if I was to look at my G minor, I'd have G was the tonic, A would be the supertonic, B flat would be the mediant, C would be the subdominant, D would be the dominant, E flat would be the submediant, and F this time would be the subtonic. So that's pretty easy, it's only the 7th note or the 7th degree that's changed, the name's changed there. So now we know all the natural minor scales, relative majors and minor scales, the names for both the majors and minors, so let's put them on the guitar now. First I'll just go through the frets and then we'll have a look at the notes. So let's do A minor. And we can do this quite a few ways as well, like we did with the major scale, and I'll show you 2 of the most common. So because we're doing our A minor, we're going to start on A. So we have the top E string, 5th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, the A string, 5, 7, 8 again. On the D string we have 5 and 7, on the G string 4, 5, 7, on the B string 5, 6, 8, and on the E string 5, 7, 8, and exactly the same coming back down there. So that's one way we can play it, and let's have a look at the notes as well. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, back to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now like we spoke about the major scales, we should finish on the A, but the guitar's set up a little bit differently from the piano, so we take it up there, and all guitarists do that. And again, coming back is exactly the same notes. So we've just played the notes to the A natural minor scale, A, B, C, D, E, F and G. So we can do that another way as well, playing the same notes. So we want to remember these two different shapes. So I could start the same on the 5th fret, have 5, 7, 8 on the E string, on the A string 5, 7, 8. Now on the D string I could go 5, 7, 9. Same on the G string 5, 7, 9. Now on the B string we're going to come up to 6, 8 and 10. And then on the E string we're going to have 7, 8 and coming up to 10 there. Coming back is exactly the same there, and if we go through the notes we're just again using the same notes. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, and coming back is exactly the same again there, finishing on the A. So there are two different ways you can play the A minor or A natural minor scale. Now exactly the same as our major scales, I don't have to remember all the notes. Now again, we want to remember the notes, but as I'm practicing these scales, I can remember the notes as I'm going along. I can just move that exact same shape and the starting note will be the name of that scale. So I take that up to C and play that first shape exactly the same. Same shape, but now I'm playing the notes to the C minor scale, and I could do that with my second position as well. So exactly the same shape as I used before, but I'm playing all the different notes. I'm playing the notes to the C minor scale there, and I can put that on any fret and I'll get the right notes as long as I'm playing the right shape to that scale. So another massive lesson, as usual, take as many notes as possible, and if you need, watch this a few times because we want to remember everything we spoke about in this lesson. So I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you soon.